Muchas gracias. I'm honored to know Pumpy and Adi recently and to do this collaboration. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe Pumpy wants to speak a few words about it. I'm not sure. She wrote a poem, and we're going to do a little dance movement piece to it. And Pumpy, do you want to just give a thematic, whatever?
Hi. Thank you for having us. I want to thank Antonietta for inviting me to perform here in this beautiful space. And the poem that I wrote is "O Mother, raise us up, raise us strong." And it is negotiating the personal journey of a woman and how it's tied in with the state, control of the body.
Linda Maniwa, belleza rara, arara, morena clara, en mí se quedará, bella locura, llegará, llegará, belleza pura. Linda Maniwa, belleza pura, belleza pura, belleza pura.
There came a moment when I could just not hold him down anymore. I was 12, and only just a few months ago, I had briefly forced down his arm. Unintentionally, I had humiliated him. I remember the glint of cruel knowing in his eyes. We both knew the game had changed, forever. I couldn't know the power of the testosterone that would surge through his body, transform his unrecognizably from my own. I couldn't know I would learn to love him for it. Almost immediately, the messaging was distinctly different. When I told her I couldn't hold him down anymore, my mother slapped me across the face. And as I stood with the unbearable sting of betrayal, she told me I was not to play with him again. Just like that, I would hurt myself. Hurt myself? What does that mean? He all of a sudden has inherited the world, an oath-wielding his ill-gotten club, and I felt dispossessed, worse, dismissed. I became the beauty to his beast. Oh, Mother, raise me up. Levántame.
Mantenha-me erguida.
In the meantime, know that I will keep my ears to the ground and listen for the stories of my ancestors.
Nowadays, my mother forbids me to go anywhere. I am taken everywhere. In the rare event I find myself alone, I take to looking back behind me instinctively. All of a sudden, I had something to protect. I begin to walk with the gravity that I now know I have brought him to his knees. It whispers, "Walk with fear, my girl." While I am being censured, he is encouraged to explore every part of this world. Any place I am firm-footed is now his too. I feel my power slipping, power as I had known it. For this, my mother presents me with cowrie shells. She tells me these are my women's wealth. And he who used to be close to my bosom, every day, more and more he looks like the sun touches him. Now he has no time for me. He plays with the very boys who bullied him so mercilessly. He runs with them. He tells me I play like a girl, like he can have no respect for me anymore. Why do I cry now at such silly things? He becomes Georgie, and I, a pudding cake. Oh, mother, inoculate me.
Inoculame.
Inoculimi.
In the meantime, I will keep my ears to the ground and listen to my grandmother's folk tales.
Now there's a constant barrage of magazines, billboards, posters, commercials, pushing one look I needed to aspire to. I wonder. I cannot yet define they, but I know they want me to obsess about my body, so I would not think big thoughts, dream big ideas, and use big words. They want me to become stunted, remain inappropriately infantile, like the barely legal girl staring through me with hollowed eyes. And I did it. I sucked in for all 4 years of high school, and barring the inadequate oxygen, still managed big thoughts. Still, seeing these girl bodies, I feel a tug where the blood lets. I want to be desired like that. My fingers find the secret place and inflame it. My only thought, could he do this to me? Then knowing he could, when, oh when. And just like the sun returning, he comes to me one day, but I keep him at arm's length, never close enough to kiss. He has grown up to be Jason, and I am fast becoming Medea. These days my mood is pitch. Old men look at me with jaundiced eyes. I can tell they only see me for my new skin. They whistle to me friendly-like, but it doesn't feel friendly at all. I don't go back to those places. I begin to see my backside and breasts interchangeable with those on TV. One day I disconnect from myself in dreams. I now watch myself, as if on film, acting out fantasies I was living the day before. I feel like an unmoored ghost. Oh, mother, root me.
Enraízame.
Enraízame. In the meantime, I will keep my ears to the ground and listen for the laughter of older sisters.
Now when we stand together, we stand in secret. We cannot even look at each other in the eye anymore. Yet our searching hands run all over, exploring, teasing, mouth sucking. It is unbearable because the delight feels shameful. And it is chronic. He doesn't seem to want to play with me like we used to either. And I, like an idiot, cannot walk away. I think maybe he will love me for it. There even comes a time when I could have taken him to husband me, and all might have become right with the world. I could have played Mary to his Joseph. Instead, I decide to question everything. I who thought I had no power, I who thought I could not trust myself, I am learning to. I bring light into the darkness that had become my home for so long. Now I will move beyond walls. True liberation is in the call of the wind, in listening to the songs my father sings, in allowing myself to walk with arms open, in learning the joys that move me in dance. As I began to listen to my heartbeat for the first time since ages ago, my mother begins to tell me she has given up on me. Oh, mother, hear me out. Escúchame.
Escúchame.
In the meantime, I will keep my ears to the ground and listen to the happy songs of my aunties.
Because I am not allowed to cross the street, I habitually do not go beyond what I know. It takes me 10 years' time to break this bounded hold on me. I wonder what all he did these same 10 years. One day, I feel him breathing behind me. I knew him to be who he is. I feel a kiss at the nape of my neck, a searching pause, and I surrender again with all of myself, knowing the risk. He has since traveled wide and learned games I do not care for, yet I allow him to fill me with longing. Though his kisses feel sincere, he remains distant, watching me while I love him. Eventually, he begins to dig at the open heart in front of him. I forgive him all this because of the love we shared as children. Later I began to understand, not even this is sacred. He is Krishna and I one of 7 gopikas. This is what I have come to know. There is a war on the female body and the feminine. How else can one love one's mother and disrespect another's? It happens. It is called walling off parts of the heart, to habitually learn how not to see someone wholly, hear someone's heart beating fully. We must do away with this war. There will be no need for reparations, no need to show cowrie shells at little girls. Our boa of a state siphons this poison relentlessly, suffocating communities, breaking our very backbone. When this happens, grandmothers are silenced as witches, mothers stoned to death, young women turn from their wombs, girls and boys are worn down into dolls. Oh mother, keep that heart open.
Deja abierto el corazón.
Mantém o coração aberto.
In the meantime, I will keep my ears to the ground and listen for the call of my teachers.
I do not wish to fight anymore, but I know now, more than ever, I, like a warrior, cannot surrender. Not just yet. One day I know I will come home to him. Now I must tend to the garden that is my heart. Instead of letting wounds harden into scabs, in them I must sow the seeds of love. Water them as blood-filled patties. Trust that garden will grow full. Beat mightily once again. I must keep alive the dead weight of chain imprisoning my womanhood. Draw myself away from angered indulgence and choose love. He will come. Surely he will. He too will have journeyed long. And when we meet, he will finally trust the places I have walked. He will respect that space I used to spread my wings. He will delight in my wit and spar sweetly with me. Together we will live close to the earth. Listen for the searching tongue of the adder, and as it draws near, in one leap we will mount and dance upon its head. O mother, let dreams come again.
Vuelve a soñar.
Sonhe novamente. In the meantime, I will keep my ears to the ground and call back to the cries of girls separated from the boys they love.